guys for coming, but I'm going to start this out like an AA meeting kind of thing. So, hi, I'm Marki, and I'm stressed out. So, I get very stressed out pretty easily, I think, and it's not really too out of the ordinary to be stressed out. I can get stressed out whether that be depending on an exam coming up in a class or just the fact that I have to present a speech. So, I didn't really take this seriously when I would get stressed out. I just thought that, why do I have a reason to be stressed? I have it pretty easy. I'm just a college student and I'm not really struggling. So I didn't really think that I was stressed. But that was until my body actually made me go to a doctor and I was stressed out, come to find out. There was something wrong with me in my gastrointestinal. I had issues. And I just pushed it off because I didn't think anything was serious and that it was just a little side thing, I guess. So I went to the doctor and they just told me that I was stressed out. So I thought just because there is an exam coming up doesn't mean it's the end of the world. So why was my body doing this? So after I got the stressed out part of my life figured out, I realized that I have anxiety. I wasn't a stranger to it. I know people who have it and how they deal with it, and it's very, you can live with it. It's not something that can, end your life. But I didn't really know much about it, so I had to figure it out for myself when I figured out that I ended up having it. So I didn't really have any crazy irrational fears, so it didn't really occur to me that I would have anxiety, because that's how I thought that it was. But how I would describe it is that my mind doesn't stop and it just goes wild constantly. Like I couldn't be alone by myself for too long, or I couldn't go out in the dark by myself, or else my mind would just go crazy. So today I want to inform you about everyday things that we all go through, like stress, anxiety, and even depression, and why those things should be taken seriously. Did you know that according to a CBS statistic that an estimated 8.3 million American adults, that's about roughly 3.4% of the United States population, suffer from serious psychological distress? I'm going to talk to you about stress and how it can easily affect your body, anxiety and how it can corrupt the mind, and depression, what exactly that is and why it can be crippling to a person. So whether or not we all like to admit it, we get stressed out. And that can be something very common. A sick child can be stressful, or a test, or a meeting at work. Stress is a very normal part of our bodies. Dr. Sharon H. Burkist, a doctor who specializes in internal medicine, states that stress is a normal occurrence in the body, but if activated too often or too long, it can not only change your brain, but it can damage organs, underlying tissue, and cells. Like I said, everyone stresses out about something. However, if it's not managed effectively, it can torment your body. With me, it caused major GI issues. However, there are major effects that stress can have on your body. For example, your adrenal glands in your body release this hormone called adrenaline, and it makes your blood pump a lot more throughout your body. And that can cause a thing called hypertension, which is high blood pressure. And that can it can lead to even more damaging things, such as heart attack or stroke. And also there is another hormone that is released in your body when you are stressed out, and it's called cortisol. And that makes you have a higher than normal appetite, and that can make you gain weight a serious amount. However, there are many ways to reduce stress and to manage it. Some prefer music or exercising. I prefer sleeping, napping. It works for me. But really, it's whatever you can do that makes you relaxed and not so much on edge, so that these things don't happen to you, because it is serious. So my mother's told me that she believes everyone has a form of anxiety, but I believe that as well. Just how severe it is kind of determines it. I think normally when people hear the term anxiety, they think fear and that's it. They don't realize that there is much more to it than that. Anxiety is an overwhelming and uncontrollable surge of feelings that can hinder someone from doing something as simple as day-to-day tasks like leaving the house. The Fundamentals of Nursing textbook states, the most common human response to stress is anxiety. Anxiety is experienced at some time by all people and can involve one's body, self-perceptions, and social relationships. It's an alerting signal that warns of impending danger and enables a person to take measures to deal with threat. In contrast, fear is a response to a known threat. So there are 4 levels to anxiety, and it starts with mild anxiety, and that is day-to-day stressful activities that can happen. It's kind of like when you're in a grocery store and you like look at the sketchy people. It's kind of like what mild anxiety is. And then the next is called moderate anxiety. So this is where it narrows a person's perception and it brings to the forefront of their mind their immediate threats that are going on. And everything else kind of gets pushed to the side. So this is kind of like the butterfly effect in your stomach. That's what that is. So next is severe anxiety, and it can be a bit more serious. And the only thing that the person wants is relief from whatever's causing it. So this is like that scene in movies where like something traumatic happens to a person and like the room freezes and like they can't hear anything and they can't even seem to talk. That's what severe anxiety is. The final stage of our 4 levels is panic. And this is where a person can lose control and they feel completely terrorized. The person can't concentrate on anything except the present situation and whatever impending doom that they can be facing. This level of anxiety can lead to exhaustion and in severe cases even death. Anxiety can be very simple, but at the same time it can be fatal depending on the severity. Finally, depression is something that I haven't personally dealt with, but I do know others who have dealt with it and are going through different stages of depression. Many believe that it is simply sadness and that you're in a little rut and that you should get out. But what many people don't realize is that it's very crippling to a person and it can cause them serious psychological damage. The AADA, or the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, states, depression is a condition which a person feels discouraged, sad, hopeless, unmotivated, or disinterested in life in general, for more than 2 weeks when the feelings interfere with daily activities. And there is a more severe form of depression called major depression, and that is something that can affect the way a person thinks, feels, behaves, and functions. So depression can really alter how you are physically. It can make you not want to get out of bed, do everyday things like even brush your teeth, brush your hair, anything. Doesn't even make you want to talk to the people that you love most in your life. So anxiety and depression both have very similar ways to manage it. There are remedies out there that can help reduce the effects that these disorders have on people. There are herbs out there like rosemary, thyme, St. John's wort, and many others that are said to even treat it. But more simple remedies can be chamomile tea, orange juice, essential oils, and about 1 million more that you can find on the internet. However, for the more severe cases, there are medications out there that can treat or reduce symptoms of anxiety. So we got stress, anxiety, and depression. Stress can ruin someone's life if they allow it, but the key is proper management. Anxiety and depression are both disorders that many people go through, and there's more to it than just the feelings of fear and sadness. After all this, I hope you remember those people that are out there, the ones who are too scared to admit they don't have full control of their lives. Take it from me, I didn't want to fully admit to myself that I had something wrong internally until my body made me do it. Pay attention to those around you and how they're doing, and please don't make them feel bad about the things that they can't even control, even if that's their own mind.